All right, guys, today's video is about liquidity. I just saw a super dope tweet and I literally just flipped the camera on right after I read it. It's such a good concept. And I won't read the whole thing, but basically it says making $1 million and stacking 1 million liquid are two very different things. To make millions is one thing, but to actually stack it, you probably have to make 3 or 4x that after paying taxes, living below your means, staying solvent for long durations. That's what it takes to actually get that liquid. And liquidity is the actual path to riches. Liquidity is what will change your life because liquidity gives you chunks of money that you can actually deploy in a meaningful way. And the reason I'm so pro real estate and I'm not nearly as pro crypto or definitely not as pro business, like starting some business or whatever, is because of this concept. You can make money with those things. If I started a business where I clean the streets and I charge for it every day, I can make money, but how do I access liquidity? How much money do I have to make to get 1 million into my account? There's no real way to get that windfall unless you sell it. But the thing is, very few people actually sell their business or are able to refinance, do a cash out refinance against their business and get large sums of liquidity. In real estate, it happens every day, happens all the time. To regular people, unexperienced people, complete morons pull that off all the time. And this tweet struck a chord with me. This is why real estate is so amazing. Because when you do the right thing, when you buy a property at a good price, when you manage it for long periods of time, whatever you do to increase the equity of that property, there's a way for you to access it. You can access it through selling. Like I just posted a video yesterday where I did a flip and I'm instantly getting that equity. I bought it on January and I sold it in March. And I got that liquidity instantly. Or you can refinance it. And it's the same exact concept. If you have buy a house for 100K and you fix it up, whatever, a few years go by, the market goes up, and it's worth 300K, you don't have to sit there and say, I have 200K on paper. I'm paper rich. That's what business owners are doing. My EBITDA, I have EBITDA, blah, blah, blah. Like, my business is worth this. I have this net worth. Do you, though? Because you can't access it. So for you to actually get $1 million, you have to do it brick by brick the hard way with pure cash flow, pure profits, paying taxes, employees, expenses, blah, blah, blah. With real estate, when you have that business that is worth whatever, and by business, it's a house in this case, you can simply not even call. You can email the bank, get an appraiser out there, show them the financials, show debt service, and you can access the liquidity and get money today instead of tomorrow. You always want to get money today is always worth more than money tomorrow. And with real estate, you're able to access that money much, much quicker than you are with definitely business. Business is terrible for this. And same with crypto. There's no safe way to borrow against your crypto. So let's use the same concept. You buy 100K worth of crypto and it goes up to 300K. You have 200K equity. How do you access that though? How can you grab that to go do more things? You have to sell it and pay taxes. That's the only way. That's the only safe way. Or you have to go on a sketchy Anon crypto site and borrow against it and wake up every day and pray you didn't get rugged by a developer. There's no way to access that equity. This whole concept is what to me puts real estate above and why I spend all of my time working on the real estate business. The second piece of this, and I will do a whole other video on this concept, I think about this all the time too, you have to actually train your mind to even think in terms of liquidity. Because before I got into real estate, I probably wouldn't have even really got what the term liquidity meant. I'd have been like, what do you mean by that? Normally, you just hear, how much do you make? How much do you make? How much do you make a year? And you kind of just go off how much you make. I don't hear a lot of people talk about windfall events. I don't hear a lot of people talk about liquidity. And liquidity gets you ahead because you can actually put large chunks of money into things and get a piece of a pie, compared to just these little like nominal increases. They help, but in a way that they just don't equate the same. The best example I could think of off the top of my head, let's say I'm making $100,000 a year. If my employer said, we're gonna give you a $70,000 raise, so then you make $170,000 that year, or we'll give you a windfall event of $50,000 today, maybe even $40,000. Obviously, you know, there's a number to where I would take that first option, but say $50,000, it's $20,000. I'm taking that today up front. I want it early and often. You always take that liquidity event, because then that 50 can get pushed out right away, and liquidity is your attack vector. Whereas these nominal increases, they just don't move the needle the way liquidity does. I hope this video made sense. It's a concept I think about all the time. And it's really the big advantage that real estate has over a W-2 job and being a small business owner. I'll see you guys in the next one.